Hi, I'm Garcelle Robinson and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my May wrap up. So let me go ahead and bring out my trusty notebook. My trusty. Let me go ahead and bring out my notebook and give you guys an update on how my May reading went. In the month of May, I read 9 books, 3,583 pages, and my average rating was a 3.6. Now, looking back on it, I realized that my April wrap up was pretty much the same. Like, I read 9 books then too. But if you want to check out the full video, the link is up above. And you can see how similar my reading stats were to this month too. I feel like it really puts it in perspective of, like, well, I wouldn't say my reading taste, but pretty much how I go about my reading. And at least, well, I wouldn't say it's the best that I can do. I feel like I could do a lot better, especially if I have more free time, but it really put it into a lot of perspective of what I can achieve when pretty much with the odds stacked against me. But yeah, I still feel like I did good this month. So I only have 3 categories. It isn't as much as my last video, but I feel like because I didn't have, well, I wouldn't say I didn't have that many books to choose from, but it was just, I feel like I had a good reading month, so there wasn't a lot to choose from, but I still wanted to be able to give you this video so I could put in perspective of especially my favorite reads. So enough of my rambling, and let's get into the first category, and that was my favorite books this month. Now, the first book that I want to mention, of course, is no surprise to anybody if you watch my video, well, at least my May TBR, and that's Jade Legacy. Now, let's give this one a round of applause. So, in Jade Legacy, I rated it 5 stars, of course, and I love this book so much. I love this whole entire series so much. Now, I do want to go a little bit more in depth about it. Well, not too much in depth because this is the 3rd book in the series. So, but I loved it so much. It was nice to be able to be with this family again, even though I pretty much read them back to back because I wanted to finish the series, at least, yeah, before the end of my deployment. And wow. Like, I feel like Fonda I don't even know why it took this long to even get to this series. I guess it was because to me, I feel like Fonda Lee is a little heartless. She don't mind knocking off anybody. Of course, you could tell she have a little bit of favorite characters, but when I say this book had me bawling my eyes out, it literally had me bawling my eyes out. I was crying so much, and I don't even want to get into why I was crying, but that wasn't the reason why I gave it the 5 stars. It was mostly because she writes so beautifully, and you literally feel like she makes you feel like you're a part of the the Call family. And there was times where I had to like displace myself because I was just so ingrained into this world, and she just did such a great job. So that's why it got the rating that it deserved, which was 5 stars. The next book that I want to mention, and I was going to put this in my surprise category, especially because like I put it in my May TBR, and I really didn't expect for me to get to it because I got to it at literally the last day of the month. I got it to it at like on May 28th or 29th. That's one. And 2 was because, like, of course I wanted to get to it, but it took me so long after the first book to finally get to this book. But when I did, I'm just kind of happy that I got to it, and that is One Last Stop. Oh, I feel like I keep messing this up. I always say One Last Stop. That's because that book, I never read the book, but it's just so well known, and that's automatically what goes in my head. But it's One Last Job. My bad. Sorry. It's like the 2nd or 3rd time I messed it up. But One Last Job. And now I could get a little bit more into this, but first I want to tell you guys that yes, I rated this book 5 stars, and like I said about me putting it in a surprise category, only reason why I said I would put it in the surprise category is because why I would, but I didn't because it was a favorite. And that's because for me to be able to give a romance a 5 stars, it really have to blow it out of the park. And that means it has everything that's usually missing in romance books, and that's like not having the breakup that, end all be all type thing, and communication, not having no communication. Those are the ones where I'm like, okay, no. And that's mostly in a lot of romance books. But I feel like in this book, the author did such a great job of it being like the communication was there, the passion was there, the romance was there, and even the just communication. Like, I just love communication. Let's go a little bit more in depth of this book. At least let me give you a little synopsis. So we have our main character. She is like an interior designer, kind of. Yeah, she's an interior designer. Oops, sorry. And the guy, he comes to England to, they want to set up like kind of like a club, like a gentleman's club. Well, not a gentleman's club. Not a gentleman's club. They would just want to set up a club for their business, and this is his time to outshine his uncle because everybody kind of see him as a nepo baby, which he practically is, but he still try to fight the allegations. And he gets there, and pretty much it's kind of like an enemies to lovers a little bit, because so he gets there, he gets to England, and he's pretty much on his way to go meet the girl, the main character. On the way to meet the main character, he's pretty much talking crap, saying, I don't understand why I'm paying this girl this much, I mean the interior designer this much, just to decorate a couple of rooms and throw some throw pillows. And she kind of mad because everybody always downplays her job, even though it's such an important role, and she's always so busy with doing so many projects and actually putting people's dream homes together. So she was kind of upset. So that automatically starts them off in a bad start. But after time goes by, of course, the romance end up blooming. But that's pretty much what the story is about, is a interior designer and him trying to outshine it. But we also have to deal with long distance because he doesn't stay there and she do. So that's where the communication that I love so much was able to get verbalized, and they were actually able, surprisingly, this is the first book that I read where they did long distance and was able to even work through that long distance. So that's why I rewarded it 5 stars, and I'm glad I did. Wow. So now that we got by with my favorite books of this month, I want to get into a book that surprised me. And yes, this book might come to a surprise to y'all, but the reason why it was a surprise to me is because, one, I found this book on TikTok. And I wouldn't say, I don't have no beef with people who do book talk. I really don't. I be posting a little couple of clips on there too, just to get my stuff out there. So it's understandable that people use it, but the author was suggesting her books, and when I be like at least looking into new books that I want to read, or if I'm just bored and I just want to find something and not go with just the regular program that I usually go, I end up just scrolling on TikTok and seeing if I could find a book, and I actually did. And the book is called Isn't It Obvious by Dashia Williams. Now, okay, the rating, I wouldn't say the rating is super low, but yes, and I wouldn't say it's super low, but it is a little, it's not like a full 4 or 5 stars, but it doesn't need to be that high of a star for it still to be a surprise to me. It was just a surprise because I actually loved it and it came from TikTok. And when I say that's like 1 in a million, it's literally 1 in a million. Or maybe I'm just not looking in the right spots, but for me, that's 1 in a million. And I rated this book a 3.5 stars. I loved it so much. It was such a feel good type book. Well, a feel good type romance book actually. And sorry guys, I had to move my mic, and my mic ended up dying, and I needed to charge it, of course. But yeah, it was such a feel good book, and the reason why it was a feel good book is because our main character, well, both of our main characters, the heroine and hero, whatever, So yeah, they've been best friends for a minute. Now the book does take place in COVID time. Now they were best friends, and well, they are best friends, and they stayed not that far apart from each other, and they always kind of like depended on each other when it came to like relationships, just whatever, it didn't matter. And our the hero, he has a disability, and it caused his disability causes him to go deaf. And his best friend, now I love her so much because she went out of her way to learn sign language for him. She took up for him no matter what. And now they in the beginning of the book, they're both in relationships. Hers is like an on again and off again romance, I mean, situation. And she kind of sick of him, and Luke is sick of him too, because he wants somebody who actually appreciates her. And his problem is pretty much his girlfriend don't want to learn no sign language. Like, they supposed to be engaged, and she don't want to learn no sign language, no nothing. And it finally got to it. They got stuck in COVID and stuff, and they started depending on each other a lot more, and realizing that are they actually are starting to have feelings for each other. And you be able to get to experience that, and you actually get to experience a genuine friendship that blooms into a romance. And they don't knew each other because their mothers are best friends, and they end up becoming best friends, and you just get to be able to experience that. And it's just so beautiful, especially the way that the author wrote it. I definitely want to read more books from her. Now, I will say she only had like 7 to 8 books. She do have a new book that's coming out that I can't wait to pick up. Only because, like, I can't wait to read more from this author. I think the only thing that I really had a problem with, at least, yeah, it was like I wouldn't say it's like a big problem. It's not a big problem. But the reason why it changed my rating is because majority just the editing. But I feel like with time and a little bit more practice with writing her books, I really feel like she can be such a great author, and I can't wait to be there along for the ride. It really gave me like, I feel like her book gave me like what Wattpad vibes. And I I done been mentioning it for a minute. I love being in that type of, I love being just a really feel good book. I love being able to experience that because it brings me back to when I was younger and I was obsessed with Wattpad. So I really love that. And yeah, I can't wait to check out more from this author, and I really think y'all should too. The last book that the last category I want to mention is my least favorite books. And the book that I have for this one is The Biker's Ritual by Jamila Jasper. Now, I rated this book a point 0.5. Yes, I know. Like, I like what could be lower than a 1, right? Now, this author, she does write dark romances, and I'm not even going to get into it about being dark or anything like that, because I feel like when the author says dark romance and you kind of go in there and then you complain about the stuff that they put in there, like, just don't read the book. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of give you trigger warnings to let you know not to read the book. So if you feel like you aren't able, like, I just don't understand people who read dark romance books and then they get into the book and be complaining about it being dark. Like, go ahead and stay on the contemporary side and don't come over here then. But besides the point, I ain't judging nobody. Do what you want to do. But I'm just saying. Anyway, so I'm not going to get into that. It wasn't even really that. Like, I will say the point 0.5 was and mostly my preferences. And I feel like a lot of the stuff, because she does write, she's a majority of the women that she write are black or mixed. And I feel like you would have to read it to experience it, but I wouldn't even recommend picking this book up, and that's why, of course, it's on my least favorite. And I have read a lot of books from her, and I feel like she does write some good books, and a lot of them does be making me questioning the author if something's wrong with her. But she does write good books. This one just wasn't for me, and I feel like a lot of, like, there should be definitely more triggers, especially when it comes to this book. And I just feel like it was a little too harsh at times. But like I said, that's more a personal preference. I'm not about to sit there and dog this book or say how trash or whatever it is when it was just mostly personal. And you could check my review out on Goodreads if you want to get a full detailed one. I'm just not about to be on video bashing this author when she explicitly said explicitly Jesus explicitly when she explicitly said that this is a dark romance book. I'm not about to do that. So yeah, I rated this a point 0.5, and that sums up my May wrap up. So guys, this video was a little short, and I'm kind of happy, especially with my last video. Of course, if you want to check that out, the link is up above. With it being so long, I just wanted to give a little refresher so you could be able to, get a little bit more of me, and also I could be able to put out what I read in May and just see my journey be able to see my journey on each month as the months keep passing by, and they're passing by pretty fast. But if you stay to the end of the video, thank you so much, and I really love the support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.